and welcome to Small Talk, an RNAO segment where we talk about healthcare issues. My name is Renee Dunkley, and I'm very happy to be here today with our guest, RNAO President-elect Claudette Holloway. Hi, Claudette. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Right, well, thank you.
Great. So, as you already know, February is Black History Month. As a Black nurse and as RNAO's President-elect, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month means that we have officially chosen a month to look at the accomplishment of Black leaders and the Black community as a whole. But to me, I also want us to realize that contributions are being made all through the year and that we should not just relegate it just to one month of the year. And unfortunately, the coldest month of the year, when many of us come from warm countries and we would do could have much more celebrations in a warmer month, but February is it, so we have to go with that.
Yeah, great. So what do you think has been your biggest struggle as a Black nurse in the nursing profession? What are the stripes that you see among Black nurses within the nursing profession?
Well, I've been blessed to have a very long nursing career, and I've had a wonderful group of allies who are not Black who have helped me along the way. But I've also had many experiences where racism, discrimination was an issue from other nurses and also from clients. But I have tried to remain steadfast and chosen to help people understand, because I think it's helping people to understand that they do not have to be threatened by Black leaders. They do not have to be threatened by Black populations. I've heard many of those conversations along the years, but that there's opportunities for us to work together and help each other in this very human profession of nursing.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then speaking about discrimination and racism within the nursing profession, the Black Nurses Task Force at RNAO was created with the mandate to reduce anti-Black racism and discrimination within the nursing profession. What can you tell us about the Black Nurses Task Force and its mandate as a member?
I've been fortunate to be a participant from the beginning of the task force. And this task force has really sought to tackle discrimination. And we realize it's systemic. There's many parts of racism and discrimination, but we're trying to tackle that systemic piece in nursing, in all areas of nursing, in the workplace, for our students, our nurses, our nurse practitioners, realizing that it has a very negative impact on the nurses' health, and that is becoming much more evident. It's not that it suddenly appeared, it has always been there, but in the last few years, as we know, it has come to the forefront. And many people have been hurt, many people are unable to trust going forward, and we want to try and step out and take a lead in making sure that we have some policies and bring attention to those who can help us move this agenda forward.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And you said you've had a long career within the nursing profession. What advice would you give to Black nursing students who are going to enter the nursing profession?
I would give them every encouragement. When I was a younger person, my father always encouraged me to get yourself an education. And I say that's the same thing I would put over to nursing students. It's a wonderful profession, but we realize that there are things that have to be addressed. So, getting your education is absolutely key, but also participating in events such as you would get with your professional association as a student, and even when you volunteer in the community, so that you can build your skills, because we don't know amongst those students who are going to be the next leaders. Not everyone wants to be a leader, we understand that, but there are many who sometimes you don't think that you're going to be in a position, but you never know. Once you surround yourself with like-minded people who are interested in moving forward, but who are very aware of where you have come from and the challenges that you face, particularly those that are from the Black, Asian, Indigenous populations. We know that it's important that we bring ourselves, our authentic selves, but we also willing to move forward and helping other people to understand that we deserve to be we should be valued at the table. We deserve to be at the table. We come forward at the table and we are willing to learn, but also willing to make a contribution. And it is from our perspective. That is a very important perspective. In the past, that has been kind of, well, it's, you don't fit or your ideas are outlandish, but you know what? They are good ideas that people from the Black community, Indigenous communities, Asian communities have, and that we can contribute to this whole profession of nursing and the clients that we serve so that we can deliver best practice.
Yeah, that is really amazing advice for our nursing students. What do you wish, or what would you like to see more of in the nursing profession when it comes to Black nurses? Would you like to see, more mentorship, more education? What do you think is lacking and what more can be done?
I think mentoring would be a good idea, much more of it. I know that Dr. Angela Cooper-Brathwaite is going to try and move that forward. But even in my own experience along the ways, I have tried to, mentor as many as I can, because it is impossible to make the best step forwards when you don't have that mentorship. I really benefited from the mentorship of Dr. Joan Lesman, may she rest in peace. And you always need someone. You need someone that can guide you along the way, so that can help you give you those ideas to bounce off of. So mentoring is absolutely important. But what I would like to see, I know we have, so there tends to be a feeling that, Black people haven't really contributed much. It's just that it has not been visualized, vocalized. There's a lot of accomplishments there. We have a lot of Black leaders, not only historically, but we have them now. We need a place to gather that information so that we can have some kind of a repository where all these leaders are. But something that I would like to see more of is where, when the very esteemed people have opportunities to present, that they have some kind of a mentee, that they would give maybe a small portion of the presentation so that they can help build their skills. Because we know that in Black leadership, in any type of leadership, you need to be able to build those skills on how to speak out, how to interact. So I find that there's not enough opportunities for that. And I have not had a lot of senior roles. Most of my nursing roles have been in middle management. But what I have done, as I've always tried to, with the teams that I work with, give them a little opportunity so that they can have a little taste, even in the practice space, but even in the formal space, gives them a chance to present so that when you come into positions, I'm looking forward to many more senior board members in RNAO from the Black and other racialized communities, so that when they come, that, it's not something that you're starting from scratch with. You've already got a little idea and you can continue to build it.
That's a really great answer to that question. And we're actually coming up onto our last question. So last but not least, in the coming months, RNAO has been promoting initiatives such as repealing Bill 124 and more recently, the fast tracking of IEN applications. What are your thoughts on the fact that we have 20,000 internationally educated nurses waiting to work in Ontario's health system?
I think it is absolutely horrendous that we have allowed this to continue. We really need our College of Nurses to step up. Even though I've been in this profession so long, I am an internationally educated nurse, so to speak. I completed my training in England, UK. And way back then, it certainly was not easy either. So here we are, how many years later? So we have a nursing crisis. We have a situation where nurses are leaving the profession, where they're going to other places to work, other provinces, going across the border. And then we have this valued a group of nurses who are just sitting there waiting. We need to move this forward. RNAO has done their best to advocate with the college, and we really need to move this forward, because why are we looking at a group that can really help the situation, contribute to the situation, lead in the situation? We just need to, just simplify this process, remove these barriers. Let's get this going.
Yeah, especially since a lot of these internationally educated nurses are Black nurses as well. So yes, absolutely. And I remember the experience where you come from your place of work from another country, and you come and you've left a senior management role there, and you have to come in and you have to almost start from scratch. So there's so many challenges for the international educated nurse, but once we can get them with that registration, I'm sure we can see them soar and contribute in marvelous ways. They're not starting from scratch. They're bringing so much with them. Let's give them the opportunity. Yes, exactly. They definitely deserve that. Do you have any final words that you'd like to say about Black History Month or being a Black nurse in Ontario?
I think the other thing is that I know I've heard many stories from Black nursing students of the hurts and the impact on their mental health. And I would say that please continue with hope. We are at RNAO, we are doing our best to move forward. I know there are many other organizations that are doing their best to address these issues, but I would say we need you. Don't give up. We know of your contributions. We have a very diverse patient load, client load, depending on what part of nursing you're in, that we need the skills, we need the representation of the Black nurse, Black students. We need you to contribute and to help, because Ontario has great needs in terms of healthcare, and it can only get better when we all contribute. And there are times when you don't feel very supported. Well, let's find places where you can get the support. RNAO is one place. There are many other agencies I know that are looking after the Black nursing experience, but there is help on the way, and we just want to encourage you. We need you. We really do.
Thank you so much for those wise words of encouragement for our Black nurses. Thank you for joining us today for a small talk edition for Black History Month. Thanks again, Claudette.
Thank you, Renee.
RNAO invites you to help us ensure internationally educated nurses, or IENs, are processed quickly in Ontario. Send us a picture of you with a sign telling us your country of origin, if you practice there as an RN, RPN, or NP, and how long you've been waiting for your nursing credentials to be validated in Ontario. At RNAO, your experiences matter.